Hey everyone, happy Monday. I am so excited to talk to you today. We are going to talk about the awful dread of going to work. So, if you are dreading going to work, or there's some piece of it that's really uncomfortable, whether you are an employee working for somebody else or you have your own business, I want to talk to you specifically today. So, if that's you, continue to listen on, interact with me in the comments. I want to give you some examples and some information, and then also how to deal with this feeling, right? How do we deal with this dread of going to work? We all have to do it for the most part, right? We have to make money in some way. So, how do we deal with this feeling? Okay. So, I do want to start by saying I completely feel you and get where you're coming from. I can't tell you how many times that I dreaded going into work on a Monday. I knew the pile of stuff that was never ending was waiting for me. I knew I had a difficult meeting that week or whatever it was. And so, I noticed it was that anxiety bubble that popped up. I know it wasn't just me. People identified the Sunday scaries. I actually didn't know that was like a term. There was a term for that until actually I was in grad school. But people, identifying with those Sunday scaries of having those feelings of anxiety or dread, thinking about going into the work week, and then having a case of the Mondays, right? Feeling like tired, exhausted, just like like having to pour yourself out of bed and get to work. I don't know who else has seen Office Space, the movie. I love that because they really do a good job of nailing that work every day thing on the head. But if you've seen that, let me know. Also, if you have ever had the Sunday scaries or you're kind of like Monday is like the worst day, let me know in the comments. I'd love to know where you're at, what you're feeling with that. So, just in case you're new to me, my name is Angela. I'm a success coach and I am a therapist as well. I'm focusing more on my coaching business. My mission is really to support you as an individual. Specifically, I have been supporting women to empower them and tap in their inner wisdom, increase their confidence, and never be afraid to take their place in this world ever again, to realize their capacity and their dreams and their potential. And to provide tangible tools and transformational experiences that lift others' energy and quality of life around me. So that's what I'm about. That's what I get up in the morning to do. That's what I get to do with you today. That's why I'm talking to you today. So now you know a little bit about me. I was working a traditional 9 to 5 job for a while before I started my own businesses, and really, being there, being to a point of burnout, feeling that dread to go into work. I mean, it was, it doesn't always start that way, right? Like it can be fun, exciting. You're doing something that you enjoy, that you love. And then it can just really take over. And a lot of times, why this happens when we get into this burnout, when we're dreading going to work, what I found personally and with other people is that it's a combination of a few things. Number one, it's that, we are in these systems, these larger systems that may value productivity over true mental health and wellness. That value just getting things done or kind of covering your ass type of stuff instead of the collective, well-being of the community, of the employees and things like that. So it could be the system that we're in. It could also be that we are not putting our own boundaries, that we're overgiving, that we're really just letting all of our energy come out into this workspace, this organization, or our clients, and we're not protecting that appropriately, right? So that could be another piece to it. And then another piece, the big one, the one that I really resonate with as well is, not living in your values or your vision. So when you are out of alignment with those things, that's going to really make it difficult to go into work, right? If you're working for a place that doesn't have values that you align with, or you're maybe not living out your life's purpose even, right? So it might be close to what you think it is, but it may not be the full thing. So, or a combination of all of those, right? So that's what I've been seeing, where people are kind of coming up to this dread, this burnout, going to work, not wanting to go, having a really tough time. So, I realized looking back, or first at some point I realized like I'm dreading going, I'm physically uncomfortable, I'm getting ill, like stress is just in my mind, in my body, in my attitude, just all of that, right? When you realize that, that's a really important key. It's that awareness that, okay, we have a problem, right? And there's something that we need to do about it next. Typically, people know there's a problem, but the next part is where people get stuck. So that's where we're going to talk about that a little bit more today. But really, it was understanding for me that I was living in fear instead of living my big, brave life. This is what I talk to people about all the time. Like, how do we get you to your goals? And how do we get you to your life's purpose? And how do we get you living the life that you want to live, right? So I was not doing any of that. And so while it was close, it wasn't in alignment with the things. I was really, truly called to have my own business, to be an entrepreneur, to kind of be able to create anything I wanted, run my business practices the way that I felt were ethical and aligned with me, and be able to really take on a bigger mission than maybe what I was serving at the time. So if this is all speaking to you, just know that it's all good. You're in the right place. I'm here to support you with that. Because it can feel really big sometimes. It can really feel big. And, I really noticed that I was in a place of fear. I was scared that if I quit my job, if I just quit my job tomorrow, or if I, were to quit my job at any point, I'd be drowning in debt. I had school debt, I had car debt, all that kind of stuff. That would, ruin me. That, if I went out and pursued this business, that I would fail, that that I have to come back to this type of job, that I really truly wouldn't be able to help people, and that I was a fraud, like total imposter syndrome. And I just want you to know, I did some math earlier actually, because I was listening to another speaker. She is awesome, talking about manifestation and all that. And she talked about having over 10,000, I think, clients that she's helped, or hours that she's helped people. And I was like, wow, that's a lot. That's amazing. And I did the math, and pretty much I can tell you that I've hit that number with all of my jobs, with all of my things, at least 10,000 people and hours served. And I was like, wow, that's an amazing accomplishment. We also need to recognize that too. So for me to be able to think, that I wouldn't be able to do this and I'm a fraud, like that's completely unrealistic, right? But we have those fears. Those fears are there actually to protect us, even though it doesn't really make sense, right? Because they're holding us back. But that's the stuff we got to work on when it comes to mindset. We need to be able to understand what those limiting beliefs are and do the work to unlearn them, pick them apart, get them out of here. We don't need that, right? That's not going to help us live that bigger, braver life. So here's what I want to offer to you. I'm not saying that you need to go quit your job right now if you're dreading tomorrow, dreading today, having a case of the Mondays, having Sunday scaries. But I am saying that you need a different approach to your work or life. Maybe you're in a position where you cannot quit your job right now because you are, let's talk about realistic scenarios. What if you're the benefits provider for your family? What if you've got a spouse and kids and you're the only one that gets benefits? What if, your income is what you need to get by day to day? I get it, right? So I'm not telling you go quit your job. I'm not saying that. But I want you to make some tweaks and some improvements to your work life that you're going to be able to get to the place that you can make different decisions down the road, okay? So, this is my whole point of creating these programs that I have for coaching. Excuse me. I created the Braver Success coaching program to help myself. I've used it myself. This is how I was able to kind of continue to make the progress that I've made, but really understand themselves, their vision, their values, and gain the confidence to be in a place where you can say, I don't need this job to survive. I have it and I'm working in it, and maybe I'm thankful for the things it provides me, but I don't need to stay here. I don't need to attach myself here forever. I have a choice and I can live the life that I want to live, right? I choose how that goes. And I created that Burnout from Balance program to help high achievers, again, like myself, and this is something that I've used, to get closer to their goals in a way that is more systematized, to have less stress and burnout, because I know what it's like to be exhausted when you're working toward your true purpose. So whether you are working in your own business, whether you are working for another company, an organization, you still need all of these pieces, right? You need the mindset support. You need the confidence to be able to create the boundaries, be able to, really feel like you can live life the way you want. A lot of us don't feel like that. We feel like we have to go to work and work is hard and that's it. And we should be thankful for what we have. I get that there's elements, but we've been passed down the story. But now in this age, we have a lot more choices. We have a lot more flexibility. And it also comes from taking that confidence and belief in yourself to know that this is possible for you. I've seen countless transitional stories from clients who were working hourly positions to getting full-time roles of their dreams. And, it took that conversation about mindset and belief in themselves. That was the main thing. But there's many other pieces to this, right? So I remember a time when I dreaded Mondays. I hated Mondays, and it was the worst day for me. The worst. And I don't know if you agree with that or not. Feel free to let me know. But now what I did when I structured my business is I've taken back Mondays. So what I do on Mondays, I get to do essentially whatever the hell I want. I get on here and I talk to you. I create fun content. I create things that I love, like the journals and the planners that I've made. I get to do fun stuff like that. I get to sleep in if I want. I get to read. I get to exercise. I do whatever I need because that is true work-life balance for me. And I promised myself I was never going to get in a position again where I dreaded Monday, especially now that I can 100% control what I'm doing every single day, right? So here's what I want you to do. If you are having those feelings of dread, if you're not looking forward to going into work tomorrow, the next day, whatever that is, for whatever reason, I want you to start to do some tiny tweaks to help and support yourself, okay? So eventually, I want you to get to a place where you design your life and then you add in the work. Right now, we design our life around our work, right? But here's what I want you to do to start. Number one, I want you to check in with yourself today. So ask yourself what you need and give it to yourself. So maybe it's not 40 chocolate bars, right? But maybe it's a break. Even when you feel like you need to push through, but your eyes are burning or you really are, getting frustrated with something, maybe it's an extra break. Maybe it's words of encouragement to your own self. Maybe it's treating yourself to something on Mondays. I used to go out with a friend Monday night. That would make me excited and something to look forward to on Mondays, right? So do what you have to do. Ask yourself what you need and give it to you, right? That's an intuitive piece and building that strong relationship with yourself. Excuse me. Number two, give yourself permission to decide. So a lot of times we feel like life is happening to us, work is just steamrolling us, and we feel like we don't really have a lot of choice in the matter. So give yourself permission to own that this is your life, these are your decisions and choices, and that you get to be organized, you get to accomplish your dreams, you get to be in control. And whatever that might look like, we can talk through that. But give yourself that permission to be decisive and be that leader in your life right now. Okay. Number three, I want you to spend some time cultivating your vision. If you haven't already, if you already have, come back to it, double check, see where you are, right? Things change so quickly. We're constantly changing, learning, growing, all of that. So we really need to check this a lot. And I'm actually going to do that again this week because it's time. It's time for me to go back and look at it. I'm looking at my vision board and I'm like, we need to update some things here, right? ask yourself, so sometimes too, the other piece is that unknown. Where do I go from here? I have no idea. I don't even know what I want to do with my life, right? Ask yourself, if I could do anything in the world, we're not putting any limitations, money, bills, whatever, I would do blank. And if you can't come up with an answer today, that's okay. Ask yourself every day and just see what you're open, and give yourself permission to respond in a way that's unlimited. So a lot of times we don't even say our dreams out loud because we put those limiters on already in advance. And we say, oh, well, I can't do that because this, and this. I don't care. Go ahead and ask yourself every single day if you need to, if I could do anything in the world, what would I do? This is what I would do. And start to give yourself, even if you feel like it's out of control, if it's like never going to happen, I don't care. Answer that question. We need to build that hope and that future vision so that we have something to work toward. Because the next steps, I want you just to do those three, but the next steps are going to be cultivating a plan of how do we get there and how do we have that accountability and support, because achieving our big dreams can be scary, can be tough, can feel lonely sometimes. Everything is figure outable. I can't remember where that came from, but I'm obsessed with that. It's true. Even if your dream is to, climb Mount Everest, there is a way, right? Even if your dream is to open an ice cream stand on the moon, there's a way to figure it out. Dead serious, right? So I need you to ask yourself that and know that there are so many resources out here to help you get to that vision, to help you create that plan, to help you be accountable, to support you with all of the stuff that comes with it. This isn't just action. Action is so important, and that's the next step here. But there's a lot of mindset and emotional pieces that come with it. And I want you to know too, you are worthy in investing in yourself. The time that it takes to do these mental exercises, the time that it takes to allow yourself to dream and dream big, right? You are worth investing in yourself, whatever support you may be. Maybe you need a therapist because there's some real big baggage from the past holding you back. Really, honestly, truly, that could be it. Trauma, etc., right? Supporting yourself with a coach, right? That's why I'm in business, because I'm here to help take you from here to here. Transformation is my jam. Like, that is my true passion and what lights me up. Because I know people can, and it's so exciting, and it's such a wonderful feeling for you to do that for you. And I'm just here to kind of, hey, support and whatever you need along the way. So know that there's a reality in which you can design your work around your life, even if you're an employee for somebody else, I promise, and we can talk through that. But know there's so much support for you to put yourself first, get clear about your path, and unapologetically go for it. That is the goal. So if you are interested in learning about either of my programs, any ways I can support you, if you have questions, if you just want to kind of do a general Q&A, or I'm offering free 20-minute strategy sessions where we can talk through your big hopes and dreams, those barriers getting in your way, and a plan to get you from A to B. So if you're interested in that, message me. There's also a link where you can book a call. I'm super excited to talk to you, and I hope you have a wonderful week.